Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Who Cares Anyway podcast, right here on Dedicated to Art. I am your host for this show, Chris Dohmen, and with me I have two of my best friends in the entire YouTube space, here for all the shenanigans and fun, starting with the guy who actually is kind of the guy who sort of roped me into this whole YouTube space in the first place, that being Ryan McLellan. Ryan, how's it going tonight, man?
It's going pretty good, and let me just say it feels good to be back, so I'm excited for what we got planned.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a fun time to be sure. And with me also, I have, honestly, just like Ryan, one of my best friends in this YouTube space. He is pretty much the only person I know from Holland, Kees, Cornelisse. Kees, how's it going tonight, man?
It's going pretty well, actually. I've been happy with how my day and night has gone so far, and I'm very much looking forward to this live show for the first time in I don't know how long that we're back.
Too long.
Just
long.
us. And yeah, it was time for this. I'm excited. I'm ready for this. So let's go.
Absolutely. So we're all going to sort of introduce ourselves, and then I'm going to give a breakdown of what I want this show to do, because this is going to be a weekly live show where we engage with you guys, the audience, but also bring up some serious stuff. But first and foremost, Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, tell us what you do and how is your week?
Yeah, so right now I'm a student. That's because I was in the Army for a little bit, did that whole thing, and then they're like, hey, by the way, you can go to school for free. Hope you know that. So I was like, all right, that's what's next. So now I'm in school. It's been going all right. First semester, had some transfer credits, but basically a freshman. So it's a little more time consuming than I expected, but it's fun. And as far as this goes, honestly, we were just talking and it got brought up like, hey, we could get back into the YouTubes and get back into a live show. I was like, hey, whatever you guys do, count me in, because I love talking, period. But I also love talking with you guys because we always get some very interesting conversations. Arguments started.
That's one word for it, absolutely.
So yeah, it's just a group of friends getting together to talk about a whole bunch of random movie and other related stuff.
Absolutely. And and sorry, what is it that you're going for college for? Because I'm legitimately forgetting right now, actually.
No, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to be an English major, but once I graduate, I'm hoping to go back into the Army. So yeah.
Oh,
nice, cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah, as an officer this time, so I'll get a little bit more money. So
there you go.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, it's not about swearing an oath to protect your country. No, it's about making it rain.
That paycheck, yeah. Your taxpayer dollars hard at work.
Because who cares about America anyway? Oh, wait, sorry. Sorry.
I mean, well, sometimes I don't blame you.
It wasn't a Dutch guy that created Star Wars.
This is true. This is true.
This is very true.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of Star Wars, Case, if I'm not mistaken, I see a Star Wars shirt on you right now.
What? Me?
No.
He's one of those fans that's saying they need to remake The Last Jedi.
Whoa.
Case hates Star Wars.
Exactly. If you hate Last Jedi, you hate Star Wars. Simple as that. But, Case, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how has your week been?
I am just a lonely nerd. Oh, no, that's not entirely true. I'm not entirely lonely. I have an amazing girlfriend.
You.
No. No, I am Kees. I'm 24 years old. I'm from the Netherlands. A great girlfriend, but she doesn't live in the same country as I do. She lives in the Ukraine. She's from the Ukraine. You can see her in my profile picture in Facebook. And she's actually coming here next week, which I'm very much looking forward to. That's going to be great, of course. And I work full-time in a production factory. It's really boring work, and I have to do 3 different shifts over 3 weeks, and then that repeats itself. So my sleeping's rhythm is completely fucked, essentially. Last week I had the morning shift where I needed to wake up every day at 4 or 5 a.m. somewhere in between, and then get up to go to work, and then I come back home in the afternoon. And the fact that right now it's 2:30 a.m. and I'm still awake, that's kind of a miracle. I still don't know how I'm up. I didn't even nap today. I tried to nap today, and I didn't manage to. But anyway, yeah, I work. I have a long-distance relationship with a really great girl. I kind of like Star Wars, maybe a little. Can't you tell? I mean, come on. And yeah, we'll talk about more movies that I like and don't like later on. What else is there that I can say?
That's true. That's true. And as for me, for those of you who are
Chris,
joining
how's
for the
your week
first
been, man?
Yeah, I know exactly. For those of you who join us for the first time, and maybe you aren't familiar with our previous work, I'm Chris Dohmen. I am 24 years old from the St. Paul, Minnesota area. I am a songwriter. I am a former actor and professional smartass. Do I need to say anything?
Yeah.
Yes, that is very true.
I also work full time, not kind of like Kees, not always the same schedule. So my sleep schedule is all off all the time, and I'm literally, sometimes tomorrow I'm pulling a 14-hour day, which that's gonna be fun. Let me tell you what.
Ooh.
But that money though. But that being said, my week's been pretty good. I kind of ate shit at work a little bit because I work at a wholesale store, and I sell cell phones as well as set people up on TV packages. So if you're not happy with your cable bill, swing on to your local Sam's Club and I'll get you a great deal.
Wow.
Shameless
plug. I know, right? And it's my dream to one day get back into acting and maybe finally finish a little script I've been working on that Kees has been helping me out with, as well as Ryan, and it may or may not be set in a galaxy far, far away. You never know. But so in addition to that, I also...
So it's a Shrek fan art?
Shrek fan. All right. All I'm going to say is Hera fan art, so let's move on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when I'm not
that's also green.
That is also green. Exactly. That is true. That's true.
Yeah, there's a theme here.
But yeah, so when I'm not doing that, I also am currently in a new musical project with one of my best friends, Matt Edlund, and we're working on basically a concept album that tells a story. Because that's the kind of songwriting I've been getting into lately is, songwriting that tells a story. And to be honest, that's kind of my favorite kind of album, is, ones that take you on a journey and make you feel all kinds of emotions, and it's something that I just love. But anyway, let's get into why we're doing this. Why we are here on a Friday night talking about movies or whatever else is going on in the world, because we're all passionate about certain things.
It's true.
Nah.
But in a way, at least for me especially, I feel like I'm sort of ignorant towards certain things going on. So I originally devised of this show as a way for me to express my passions, because originally this was just going to be a solo thing until both these guys were cool enough to be like, hey, bring us in on this too, please. And that's why we're here.
No. You begged for us. That's how it went. That's exactly how it went.
Exactly.
Don't alter it.
The jury's still out.
The jury's still out on that one. But that's what I wanted to do with this show. And I don't want to just talk about movies. Now, granted, that's the main focus, because this is a film podcast first and foremost. But, if there's a a big situation like the Kavanaugh thing. Maybe I want to talk to an actual politician and talk about why this is such a debacle in the Senate, and get some new perspective on something that maybe I'm like, oh, I don't care about this, but you know what? Maybe I should, because maybe it can make me a slightly better person for it, or maybe I can talk to one of Ryan's friends in the Army who might be way ranked up higher than him and talk about how people in the Army actually get to where they are, the kind of discipline that's required to actually hit those ranks, and just understand how people are truly willing to die for something greater than themselves, which is a concept that I'll admit I have a hard time understanding. Or maybe I want to talk to religious figures and not necessarily get explanations for, but try to get perspective on maybe something that I'm missing out on that maybe can restore some of my own faith that I've lost. Like, this is a film podcast first and foremost, but I want this show to be a learning experience, not just for me, but for you guys as well. So that's kind of a sneak peek of what this show is going to be about. Yes, it's a film podcast, but we can make it so much more.
And we're going to have guests.
Exactly.
At one point.
Oh, I think it'll happen a lot sooner than we realize. I've already got a couple people that I'm reaching out to, and within a couple weeks, we'll be able to make something happen here.
Sweet.
Yay.
So speaking of sneak peeks, let's dive in to this wonderful thing called movie news.
Yes.
I'm pointing at the graphic on the thing. So, we got bombarded with clips and trailers this week. And
It's been busy.
It's been busy, but you know what? I'm actually hyped because I don't think there was a bad one amongst them, believe it or not. In my opinion. But we're about to get into that. So let's start this off with one that I'll admit I thought was going to suck. But now I'm actually building a little excitement for it because let's make this perfectly clear. Like a turd in the wind is probably the dumbest quote I've ever heard in my entire life. But damn it, I'm excited for this Venom movie. And the clip that we got released this week where he just took on all these fucking soldiers and just kicked their ass. I'm excited for it. Like, Kees, am I just fanboying, or is there, something that there is to it?
You are fanboying. That is very true. Because I saw this this clip of the Venom taking out these soldiers, and the thing is that, like, I have no background on anything Venom besides Spider-Man 3, which arguably is not a good version of Venom. So for me, I don't really know the character that well. All I know is that I usually love Tom Hardy in most anything. I can't really think of anything that I don't like him in. He doesn't seem to be completely in it, though. And from all the footage I've seen so far, it doesn't seem too great. This is by far the best thing they've released, because it's just him as Venom in a cool action scene. However, a cool action scene does not make it a movie. So, still, the jury's out. Judgment will be when the movie actually comes out, which I'll see. I definitely will, because of various reasons, like Tom Hardy and Venom, comic book movie. I see all comic book movies, even Fantastic 2015. I saw that opening day in the fucking theater. Yes, I'll suck it up, even if it's that bad. It can't be that much worse though, because
you poor
that movie
baby.
sucks. I know. But we'll see, This was probably the best thing we've seen so far from this movie, so there is some potential. They may be able to salvage something. But I have my strong doubts still.
Maybe. Ryan. To be fair, I actually don't know your experience with the character of Venom, so fill me in, man.
Comics.
Yeah, comics, and then also that awesome amazing 90s Spider-Man cartoon that was just so good. So yeah, definitely the cartoon and definitely the Amazing Spider-Man comics from the 90s. That's my introduction to him. So that's how I know him. And then as a kid was really excited for, Spider-Man 3. The first two were really good, and this one's going to have Venom and Sandman and Harry Osborn as the Goblin, so it should be the best one, right?
Oh, boy.
Wrong. So wrong. For one, why
I don't think it's bad, but yeah, it's got issues.
It's bad. I'm sorry. Nope. Eddie Brock is a horrible character in that movie. Just not at all interesting. And honestly, the worst part is Venom just sucks. Like, he's a skinny little nerd. Why is Venom skinny and little?
Hey, don't slander Mark Ellis like that.
Yeah, well, if Mark Ellis had those powers, he'd still be a lot better than that movie. So,
that's
true. I don't know.
So at least Venom would be funny then.
Yeah,
at least
would be
funny
making turn in the wind jokes, but it would be better. Yeah, exactly. So,
excuse me, my Venom sense is tingling.
Yeah, that was just unbelievable.
If you know what
and
I'm talking
inexcusable. Inexcusable. But Kees says a good action scene does not a good movie make, unless we're talking about John Wick, the Dredd remake, or possibly Venom. Well, I don't know, because
now I'm glad you're bringing up that example, because John Wick, it was a simple premise, but all the action scenes made it work. Not just one thing in particular, because sure, that nightclub scene.
Oh, it's so good.
The whole movie is an action scene. That's my point. And same thing with the Dredd remake. I mean, it's kind of just one big action scene strung together with a little bit of story and plot in there. But that's kind of my point with this. Based off of the trailers that we've seen, I don't think we're gonna get a very crazy plot. I'm not seeing it. Which, I mean, unless I'm walking into something like a Civil War, Captain America Civil War, or Avengers Infinity War, I mean, I'm not necessarily, like when I went into Ant-Man and the Wasp, I wasn't expecting some super convoluted Aaron Sorkin, I was just expecting, hey, Ant-Man and the Wasp teaming up. And so this one, guess what I'm expecting? Hey, Venom kicking SWAT team ass and, knocking people off of motorcycles and insulting them and calling them turds. So, that's kind of all I'm looking for. What does give me pause, though, however, is is it just me, or does this CGI look pretty horrible?
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not the final product, but yes.
Right.
But it comes out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it comes out very soon. And also, I'm not saying that I need the greatest CGI of all time for this movie. Like, I don't need it to be winning Academy Awards.
Make it look slightly believable.
Right, but if it looks like a 2012 movie as opposed to a 2018 movie, then it's going to kind of be an issue, because you notice it now. Like, if it's noticeable, you're going to notice it. So, and it might get in the way of...
To be honest, say what you will about Spider-Man 3, I honestly think that Spider-Man 3 CGI looks better than this trailer, so...
That's honestly not a horrible argument. At least the same, and that kind of looks the same.
Yeah, but that's like... The movie is over 10 years old, so...
Exactly. Yeah, 2007? So, yeah, it's 11 years old. But... ultimately, I'm a huge Venom fan. Loved the cartoon, loved the Amazing Spider-Man comics, and some more recent Venom comics where it was he was like, there was one where he was traveling around with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That was an awesome run. So we'll see what they do with this. I'm hoping, honestly, yes, that turd line is very cheesy, but it kind of fits the character of Venom. Like, he kind of has that snarky, just never.
I also think that depends on the context. Maybe.
I'm not saying it was funny, or like I would have preferred if it was a better line, yes. But I'm just saying it kind of at least shows that they're going for the right tone. Whether they succeed or not is yet to be seen. But they're headed in, that tone is the right tone, but they might not hit it, if that makes any sense. It's like you can do all the things right, supposedly, but then once you get in the theater, you're like, okay, well, they try to do the right thing, but they completely failed. But yeah, I always hold all my judgments on that until I've seen it, so we'll see.
We will see indeed. And Yes, I've noticed a fun little glitch in our stream because I'm a couple seconds behind. At least my video is. But you know what? Screw it. We're just going to keep on moving on because honestly, I actually have nothing left to say because you two have actually done a great job with this conversation. You know, but going to another big trailer that dropped, X-Men Dark Phoenix. Okay. I'm scared, but I'm excited. So, I don't know. Am I crazy in my thoughts about this movie?
I think that, okay, scared but excited, I think that's kind of the right way to look at it because being excited for what it could be offset by being scared of what it actually might be is kind of where I'm at as well, because Dark Phoenix is a really interesting storyline and there's a lot that they could do right, and it doesn't look all that bad based off the trailer, but I'm also not seeing anything that has me jumping up out of my seat like, yes, this is going to be the next Days of Future Past or X2 United, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, for me, it's like X-Men has had some great movies, has had some bad movies, and The Last Stand tried to do Phoenix. That was not a great movie at all.
When they're bad,
like
they're really bad.
That's just not a good movie. And this looks like a good trailer for X-Men: The Last Stand, where we're gonna get something like it, where the trailer looks fine. There are things in that trailer that I'm like, that's cool. I want to see the next chapter in the X-Men franchise. That's cool. Whatnot. This is someone who actually liked Apocalypse. I don't love it, but I like it fine. I can watch it. I did absolutely love Days of Future Past and First Class. Those are great movies. But with this, I don't know if it's the right step. I don't know if it's the right call to make. And what worries me even more, like what worried me initially was just the release date of February. Maybe they want to pull a Black Panther with that. Now they even postponed the release date to the summer of 2019. It's gonna... I don't know. Like they're not... They're like, oh, don't put it in February, put it in the summer. I just don't know what they want to do with it. And
well, let's be fair here. It's probably got a lot to do with the whole Disney buyout thing. So
maybe
it's probably one of their last films that they'll actually be able to get out before Disney officially starts overseeing a lot of their product. Okay, product is the wrong word, but overseeing a lot of their lineup of films. And that's why. That's the only reason why. Whether or not you agree with it, that's fair. So...
it just has me worried.
And yes, and I'm more worried that Jennifer Lawrence is going to be 3 times as bland in this film as she was in the last film.
She looks better. She looks better. And that was... I think there was more makeup in this trailer combined than in the entire last movie. So that's something, you know.
And for all we know, it's just her body double. For all we know.
For all we know.
I don't want it to be her body double, but chances are it probably is. So.
Yeah. On the last movie, there was a lot of body double.
Yes, there was. All right. Well, but...
I think one final thing just about it to like kind of counterpoint what you were saying as far as the date. The only other explanation I could think of is I have seen the trailer getting a lot of attention by like less of the hardcore Marvel lights and, you know, film fans, and people saying that it looks like it's going to be really good. So maybe they're getting more of a reaction than they thought they would. So they said, hey, let's push it into the summer when more people will be able to go and see this, and hopefully we can squeeze some more money out of it.
But that doesn't make any sense because Fox are the current kings of February.
Yeah, but they also, I don't know if you saw just to throw a wrench in the works, because I know this wasn't really in the plans, but they're also dropping a Deadpool movie in December already, so out of nowhere.
What?
Yeah, it was on Collider.com just recently. I'm sorry, I should have let you know. But basically, Ryan Reynolds dropped a picture of him holding a book, and he's reading to adult Fred Savage, like as if it was from The Princess Bride, essentially. And something's going to be released on, I think it's December 21st. So
Wow.
whether the article on Collider speculated if maybe it was a recut of scenes from Deadpool 2 that didn't get released, and it's presented in sort of like a Princess Bride, but it's going to be in theaters everywhere. So this is something that's going to make them money. And so Fox is taking risks, and maybe that kind of comes into what you were just saying, Chris. Is like, hey, they're like, let's go all out while we still have a chance. Let's just go all out and make as much money as possible. Throw it in, you know what? Throw it in the summer. We'll just make as much money as possible while we can.
True.
That could be their theory.
And you know what? You wouldn't be that crazy for thinking that. You really wouldn't. I don't know. It's a little like weird to try to determine like what are the actual plans for after this film, because there isn't much left to tell.
Question.
Right.
No. Because right now you're already catching up on the original X-Men trilogy, and that's bullshit because they still don't age the characters up.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I like Sophie Turner. I think she could be a great young Famke Janssen, but she's going to have to turn to Famke Janssen real soon.
Like
Well,
10 years.
I think they'll probably just recast and start over.
Well, or they're just going to end it and then bring everyone over to the MCU.
Yeah.
Mm,
Time will tell.
hopefully.
I'm scared for when that happens.
It will happen.
It will happen, and I'm scared. Because
Get Avengers versus X-Men, man. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully.
the most ambitious crossover in history. Ay. Okay. Next. So, Jonathan Peck, actually, who's hanging out in the chat, has let us know that the first music video for A Star Is Born just dropped, which...
Yes. I heard about that. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either because there's a reason for it, Jonathan. Thank you for bringing that up. But I'm going in cold. I saw a little preview for it. I'm sold. I want this movie. I want it right now. Because when Lady Gaga is not up her own ass, I love her as a singer. And I love Bradley Cooper when he's not, playing some frat boy. So I'm in. I'm ready.
Same. I saw a couple trailers or, little 30-second spots when I was watching football last weekend and had read all the Twitter reactions from the festivals. So that's all I need. I'm ready.
Yeah, I've only really heard people raving about this movie. Haven't seen anything. I only saw the poster and I heard people raving about the song. I'm like, you know what? I'll probably go see this. It looks good. It sounds good. I know Lady Gaga can be great because seriously, I really like most of her songs. So yeah.
And I would just say for any American Horror Story fans out there, if you've watched season 5 in the hotel, you know that she's actually a pretty good actress. She's really not that bad. Maybe that it's kind of role specific, so we'll see how it plays out in this movie. But she got something. That's for sure.
And that's the thing too, is like I feel like she could be one of those good actresses who is really good at sticking to a niche.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine.
And trust me, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's kind of, she could be like another Tom Hardy.
I mean, that's how Chris Pratt is rich.
True.
Also true, yeah.
He's the funny action guy.
Yeah, kind of dumb, kind of lovable, but, is always the good guy, ready to help out wherever he's needed.
Exactly.
Just want to say it's my plan.
12% of plan.
Oh, God. Well, actually, yeah, no, and speaking of that Lady Gaga movie, Star Is Born, I was gonna hold this off for the notes, and just because I forgot how, if you guys are actually like fans of Elton John, but there was just a first teaser image of Taron Egerton in the upcoming film Rocket Man, which is based on well, it's basically the Elton John version of Bohemian Rhapsody, which
That's interesting because he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. You usually do that when
they're gone. Yeah.
True.
But I mean, I have no idea what his story is, so I guess maybe it could be. He's got great music, as long as the music's good.
Look, The Lion King is my favorite Disney movie for a reason.
Well, yeah, because the animation's spectacular, but okay.
No, because Matthew Broderick is so great as Simba.
Actually, I kind of like him as Simba. So sorry.
No. I like him too, but he's not the best part of that movie.
No. Okay, yeah, because sorry. Thanks for following my vamp, guys, because I totally forgot the next story we're supposed to talk about. That is why so serious.
Comic book news with Phoenix.
Sorry, wrong Joker.
Right franchise.
You need to get some tattoos, and then you're good.
And some gold teeth. God. Okay. Yes. So we finally gotten our first image, and we actually had a little video footage to accompany our first true look at Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. God damn it! Sign me up. I'm ready.
I know.
I'm ready for it. Oh my god, this movie is gonna be great.
Seriously.
I hope so.
Can we just erase Jared Leto's Joker? Great actor.
Because
great actor.
I actually like his Joker. Controversial thing. I know.
Yeah. I liked his Joker. They didn't use him. They didn't use him the right way.
No, they didn't. But I did like his Joker for whatever amount of screen time he had in that movie.
Sure.
But with this one, Joaquin Phoenix, it looks very different from most of them. He probably looks the most like Cesar Romero, which is kind of weird. He looks a little bit like a clown, but he does look intimidating and scary, which is what you want from a Joker. What I now want is to see how he acts, how he performs the Joker, because we've actually seen a couple of good Jokers. I mean, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, of course. Mark Hamill does a great job as the animated Joker. I will defend Jared Leto for what he was given in that movie. I like what he did in Suicide Squad. It was a different take. It was something we haven't seen before, and I think it was still true to the character of Joker. With this one, I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued, and I want to see this movie. But DC has, I can't remember the last good DC movie besides Man of Steel. So there's an issue there. I don't count Wonder Woman. I think it's severely overrated, but that's me.
You sexist pig. I'm kidding. But no, and you're right, because as much as I love Wonder Woman, and I will defend it as a good movie, it had some problems. And we have not had a definitively awesome Batman or DC movie in 10 years.
Yep.
So, believe it or not, if there is an actor who can probably bring it, it's Joaquin Phoenix. If there's a director who can probably bring it, surprisingly, I guess we have to call him Todd Phillips.
Hey, he's got some good movies, man.
The Hangover.
Hey, he's around for a reason. That's how I see it.
Fair enough. No, so I'm trying to keep my fanboyism intact. It's not going well because here's a strange,
let it out.
And here's the strange thing too. I'm not that big of a Joaquin fan, believe it or not.
Me neither.
But when you put him in the right role for a movie, he clicks.
Gladiator.
Walk the line. My God. His best acting performance to date. But if this Joker movie does what I think it can do, that might rival it. So, sorry, I'm drinking tonight.
Those might do really good. It's going to be a good one. Go out and see it at theaters tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's one side and then there's the other side and there's like somewhere in between. That's where I am. I'm on the in between because I like the look, I like the feel, I like who's involved. It's kind of interesting, you know. You have you got your old timey gangster, then you have your anarchist, then you have your new timey gangbanger, and now you have a clown again. So that's interesting, and I think I like how the makeup looks. I like who the actor is. I like who the director is for something that's like comedy infused but darker, hopefully. And
it's dark humor, yeah.
Right, exactly, yeah. And that's what I want. Except for I don't really want the Joker's backstory, I think. So
we already saw it in Batman anyway.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean...
But that's only one interpretation of it, because that Joker wasn't the Red Hood. He had the same incident as the Red Hood, but it wasn't the Red Hood.
If you're talking from 1989 Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different... Like, this is Arthur Fleck, or whatever his name is. That was... whatever Jack Nicholson's
Jack Napier.
Jack Napier, thank you. So yes, different incarnations are different, people are different blah blah blah. I love 1989's Batman, but I don't really care to see where the Joker came from in that one. That's, you know, it's just not the part of the movie that I like. That and the Prince music video. I also am not interested to see where this Joker comes from. I'd rather he was just already the Joker and doing some stuff. I don't know, but
what they can do though is show the Joker how he is now and have some flashbacks how he was, but don't show how he became the Joker.
Yeah, but that's not what they're doing. First of all, and second of all, I don't like that anyway. What they're doing is they're giving it to us straight, but I'm not sure that that's what I want. Now, this is what I'm trying to get to, though, is it's, I just forgot his name, Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix's job to convince me otherwise. That's why they're making this movie, is to have people watch it and enjoy it. So if they do their jobs right, I guess they'll convince me otherwise, and I'll love it. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that against all the, against all my thoughts and judgments, I hope that I end up liking it anyway, because who doesn't want DC to have a good movie every once in a while?
Yeah,
true. And look, here's the thing. As much as we're going to crap on the DCEU later, and we will, gladly, I never wanted any of those movies to fail, and I don't want this movie to fail. So we're gonna have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see, and I have to put my faith to the guy who showed me Zach Galifianakis' dick several times on film.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know what?
You convinced me that a couple of people can actually act, which I didn't expect.
True. Oh, yeah, that's right, because he did War Dogs, right?
He did.
Yeah. I liked War Dogs.
Actually, seriously, War Dogs, my favorite Jonah Hill performance out of all I've seen, and I've seen a couple of movies with him.
I mean,
okay.
It stands up there with some of his, for sure.
It's a good one, absolutely.
The laugh, just the laugh. It's so good.
Okay, so I believe that ought to about do it for everything happening in the world of movie news. So let's get into what the meat of tonight's discussion is, and that is our favorite movies. Now, we had to make one thing perfectly fucking clear. We're not talking about Star Wars.
You can't control me, Chris. I can say whatever I want right now.
We're gonna talk.
Chances are. Oh shit! Speaking of Star Wars, that was what I forgot to bring up.
Wow, I forgot too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So the Star Wars Resistance trailer dropped this week, and oh my God. Like, I'm so ready for this show. It's not even funny. I want this show and I want it now.
My only thing is, the fans, you can go fuck yourself.
Oh, yeah. No.
Fuck you, and very much fuck you.
Star Wars
fans.
fans.
So much. Like,
I swear to God.
Oh.
Come fight me. Come fight me. You know what? And when I say come fight me, literally, come find me and let's talk this out. Because you're just a bunch of sad, fat, old, stupid fans who don't appreciate good animation when it comes right in your face from the man who brought you Clone Wars, who brought you Rebels, who brought you Ahsoka Tano, who brought you so many great characters and stories. Get the fuck over yourself! This is gonna be a great show. I watched this trailer and I'm sorry.
It looks so good.
It looks so good. Like this could be the Star Wars version of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's actually a pretty good comparison.
Yeah.
So, please, I beg you, shut the fuck up on the animation style and give this show a chance.
There's so much Star Wars stuff coming out that, what is it, like, you can't like it all. It's impossible. I mean, they come out with origami Star Wars books. Like, you don't have to like it all because it's impossible. There's just so much that comes out nowadays. So just take it for what it is. Either you like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it, then wait a little bit for the Jon Favreau live action show. That's sure to be amazing. Like, take a step back, realize that the world isn't about you.
That show is going to suck because it's about the Mandalorians. And we don't care about them outside.
Well, they're badass.
I want to see Luke after Return of the Jedi being way too OP.
We don't want this Ben Solo crap. We want Luke, and we want no women, and we want Ryan Johnson to remake The Last Jedi.
No, we want to make The Last Jedi, not Ryan Johnson involved.
Yeah, I was about to say, they're their own director. Yeah. But no, for real. I mean, this trailer looks good.
Heck, even Ryan Johnson wants them to remake.
He said go for it, yeah. He said, I wish you guys did.
Yes,
because he knows it would be garbage.
Yes.
You know, I'm sorry that you're all too stupid to appreciate.
Although, that does make me think of one thing. Is there was this one story that I read a long time ago when I was a kid about, it was actually when the old crap fest of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out. There was an interview with Steven Spielberg, and they asked him, like, what's the coolest fan interaction you've ever had? And he said there was this group of kids, like teenagers, high school kids, that made a shot-for-shot, time-accurate, like the exact runtime of Raiders of the Lost Ark. They made their own fan film and sent it to him on VHS, and he watched it, and he said it was amazing. He said it was one of the best things he's ever seen. Like, he was so flattered by it.
Star Wars... the YouTube channel for Star Wars posted a while back a shot-for-shot remake of Empire Strikes Back with people who would like act it out in live action, or they'd animate a piece of it, or they did a piece with Legos and toys, and just it like seriously.
So like, if they want to make their own The Last Jedi, then go ahead and do it. Just make it a fan film, and then you don't have to worry about rights, because Lucasfilm is really good about letting people do fan films and fan art of their stuff. Like, they're not super obnoxious about copyrights. I mean, look at Family Guy. They never got permission to do any of that stuff. Yeah, Star Trek's lame. We all know that. Okay, but for real, we're talking about something very specific, which is the Resistance trailer. I'm just going to get a little thing off my chest. I think it's amazing. I can't wait to see it. And I think the animation looks really cool. My only thing is please, 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 let's get fewer childish, lame things. I know it's a kids show. I know, but kids are smarter than we give them credit for a lot of times. We don't need all of the kid stuff that was... We can have some of the kid stuff, but we don't need all of the kid stuff that was in Rebels, because kids are so smart. If you give them smart stuff, they will understand the smart stuff and be smart. If we give them dumb stuff and talk down to them, they will take the dumb stuff and be dumb. So let's give them smart stuff, please.
Just like Avatar.
Yes, exactly. Like, you can have your dumb stuff like SpongeBob or whatever, which is still great. Don't get me wrong, SpongeBob is still great. But it's, it's SpongeBob. Like, let's have something really good with good characters, which is what this looks like. Don't get me wrong. I'm not seeing any as Morgans on here. Like, please, Lord
Thank
Jesus.
God. God.
We get into like 5 minutes into the first episode of Resistance, and it's like a whole as Morgan thing going down.
I'm gonna throw tomatoes at my screen. I'm going to punch my screen.
And then are you gonna ask Lucasfilm for a chance to remake Resistance?
Yes, and I'll do it better because fuck S. Morgan. That's like the worst character they've ever created.
And it's so sad because he's voiced by one of the greatest Chinese actors of all time.
Yes, but it's still the worst character they've made.
But anyway, I love how this is pilot centric, which the flying in Star Wars is one of the coolest parts. And it's also like atmosphere flying, which is really interesting. And the creatures that are in it and the characters. And Poe, I could take him or leave him. I think he's a cool character, but I don't know like how much I need him to be in this particular show.
I don't think he's going to be very involved.
I was going to say, I don't think so either, because I'm ready for like, okay, he's the handoff. You know, he's like, hey, here's the baton.
It's still Oscar Isaac. It's pretty expensive to get him on the show.
Well, I think he really likes the character, though. So it's like,
true.
You know, I'm sure he took a decent pay cut to be on this. Like, I seriously doubt they're paying him Oscar Isaac money.
No, they're not.
So anyway, but yeah, I'm really excited is the short of the long.
Kees?
I already said my piece. I'm excited for this. I think it looks great, and I can't wait for it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I'm good. I had my rant.
Get ready for
but trust me,
a Star Wars story.
Oh.
Directed by me. I'm gonna make an As Morgan fan film. I just need $20 million. I'm gonna set up a GoFundMe, guys. If you want an As Morgan standalone story, just at Clan McLellan. Go ahead and hit me up. You got any ideas? If you want to do makeup, if you want to act as Morgan, fuck it. Like, what's
you
next?
clearly have to do a puppeteer job. Come on now, right?
Yes. Oh, that's good.
None of this CGI Jar Jar Binks innovative technology nonsense.
Yes. All right. Now let's do a petition to have Simon Pegg in the suit for As Morgan. Yes.
Yes. Punish me,
Right?
motherfucker, for when he was like, well, I think if you like the prequels, you're a complete fucking retard. I'm sorry. No, look that up. He fucking said that in 2015.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious because obviously that's his opinion, which he's entitled to.
But here's the thing. Don't fucking say that in an interview. But anyway, that's...
You just said fuck you to all the Star Wars fans, so come on.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
this is
Send in your tweets and comments.
right down there, folks. Skywalker Dohmen.
Tell us which one of the three of us is right about everything regarding Star Wars. All right, what's next?
All right, fine.
We're killing.
Yeah,
it's usually me because I'm great at trivia.
Ooh, that doesn't mean anything.
Kees, you know I can take you.
We're not even supposed to be talking Star Wars. You guys are the worst.
Yeah. Let's get into
that's
what
because we were talking about
about
Resistance. Okay, yes, no, the actual conversation of what we're having tonight, and that being our favorite movies and our movies that we cannot fucking stand. And I get the feeling we're going to be revisiting this list fairly often because I want to actually take some proper time to talk about each of our choices that we got for tonight. Because, look, we love a lot of films for a lot of different reasons. And we also hate movies passionately for a lot of different reasons. And I think I actually want to start with the ones that we hate the most because we're kind of already in that mode of getting ready to rant, just ready to blow up. So if we get the negativity out first, we end on a positive, and then we'll call it a night. So, Ryan, why don't you start us off with a movie that you just can't stand?
It's like movies, and it's the Fast and the Furious, because somehow everyone in America and the rest of the world and just everyone except for me likes them. It's just, what am I doing wrong? I turned my brain off. Okay, brain is off. I am interested in the actors. They're some good actors. Okay, and the cars. I like the cars. That's cool. So what am I missing? I like action. I don't know. They just don't add up for me. And probably a huge unpopular opinion because everybody loves them and they're so fun and you just gotta, sit back and enjoy the ride and this, and this. Like, they just don't work for me. They just don't. Like, you get Charlize Theron in it and it just doesn't do anything for me. And you get The Rock in it and it doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I know it's the wrong answer. Jason Statham's great too. Paul Walker, R.I.P. I mean, the dude, that was his thing. And of course, Vin Diesel is always going to be Vin Diesel. And I'm pretty sure that guy's going to live to him forever. But it'll be 2051 and we'll have Fast and the Furious 30 and I'll still be the only one that doesn't like them. So sue me.
Nah, because I'm right there with you. It's
yeah.
Like I've seen all of them. The only ones I really even remember are the first, the 6th, and the 7th.
The first is actually the one I like the best. That is the one that I was like, okay, and that was the first one I watched. Actually, I'm sorry, I watched 6 first, and then I watched the first one, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe just I need to watch the older ones. And then I kept watching the older ones and still didn't like them. And then everyone's like, no, Fast 5, that's where it gets good. Fast 5. No, it doesn't get good. I'm sorry. It does not.
And and to be fair, I actually get why a lot of people like him. I mean, and Kees is a very active defender of these films.
He's trying so hard.
And to be fair, dude, and yes, thank you for being a good sport about it, because we're gonna give you a fair chance to defend it. Because I'll meet you halfway. The actual car action in this franchise is pretty good. It's stupid, but it's well executed. So I can't hate on it too much. It's just sometimes the acting just
all the time.
Sometimes
all the time.
That is
every
very
single
fair.
line that's said in them. Oh,
that is very fair. They're very cheesy. They're very stupid action movies, but they're fun. They dragged a bolt through the streets of Rio. Come on, that's just fun. I don't care who you are. That's fucking fun. Yes, it is a stupid action scene. Yes, it could never fucking happen. Yes, the acting is not that good or the lines. It is fucking fun. Just turn your fucking brain off and enjoy that. Because I like it. I don't know why. I just like those movies. They're stupid, and they're I definitely don't enjoy Fast and Furious, which is the 4th, and Tokyo Drift as much as the rest of them. All of them are severely flawed. All of them have a lot of flaws, and you can pinpoint out a lot of stuff that you wouldn't like. But overall, I just enjoy those movies. I grew up with them. I watched the first 2 a lot when I was a kid. Then I watched Tokyo Drift, and I already didn't care too much about it. But 5, 6, 7, 8 are all really good, I think, or at least really enjoyable. But that's me.
Look, I think you could put Daniel Day-Lewis in there, and he would just suck so bad. He wouldn't be able. He would just be stumbling through his lines, and he wouldn't know what he's they're cursed. Maybe the movies are cursed. I don't know. The only good thing I have to say is the 6th one introduced me to Gal Gadot, and now I love her, and I think she's amazing and beautiful.
She's in the 4th one first. She's in the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th, and in the 6th she dies. Spoiler alert.
I watched the 6th one first.
It's true.
So that was the one that introduced me to her because I saw it first.
Also, she absolutely sucks in those movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone sucks, including Daniel Day-Lewis. But she still looks
he's not in it!
She still looks beautiful.
Sorry, Kees, but I think to quote Too Fast, Too Furious, Ryan just gave you a "How do you like them apples, Rome?"
Yeah, I get apples. It's burning scoop nothing right there. I know it's stupid. I don't care. I like it.
And hey, there's nothing wrong with that, because you know what? I'm going to
There we go.
yeah, here, yeah. Yep. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a film that is, I would like to call, the death of comedy as we know it. I love comedies. I love films that make people laugh. I love the old school stuff. I love Animal House. I love Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. I love It's a Mad World.
Airplane.
Yeah, Airplane, absolutely. You know, a lot of these classic comedies that are standing the test of time and are still great. And hell, there's even some 90s stuff that I actually am pretty fond of. Like American Pie. Oh my god, the movie's it's so funny. Sadly, though, my movie is one of the worst comedies ever made. But for some fucking reason, everybody I grew up with in my town of middle of nowhere, Minnesota, all decided they want to start fucking inbreeding or something and decided they want to love this movie. And that is 2002's The Master of Disguise. Fuck this movie. Now, I like Dana Carvey. Because his time on SNL, especially him as President Bill Clinton, oh, say, I love it, say. And of course, when he's church lady, well, isn't that special? He's great. He's absolutely great. But when you are Dana Carvey doing celebrity impersonations for an hour and 40 minutes, it's not funny. It's not funny. You just want to tell him to shut the fuck up. You managed to take Brent Spiner, one of the best actors in sci-fi. You made him not funny. And you actually gave him a very funny idea, where every time he laughs maniacally, he farts. The first time it's funny. The third time it's funny. The fifth time it's funny. But in between, it's not funny. Why are you doing that, movie? Why are you so annoying? Why aren't you funny? And people love this movie. Why? Why?
Good question.
Ryan, please tell me you've suffered through this abomination of an abortion.
Actually,
I have.
I really, really, really haven't. 1,000% haven't, because I saw the trailer and I remember it was on, I don't know, some VHS that we had when I was a kid. And even then, I thought it looked really stupid. So,
and it was.
Yeah, that was a big old skip for me.
It was insultingly stupid. If it was just stupid, that would be the least of our problems. The problem is, it was produced by Happy Madison.
Ooh. Well, that kind of answers a lot of questions, though, because outside of the 90s, really, what have they done?
Nothing.
Yeah, so that answers a lot of questions.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, man. I feel for you, though. I know the pain of just like, oh, this is... See, actually, here, real quick, here's my comparable story, is Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Oh!
I love that movie. That's supposed to be, like, the movie, and I don't know if maybe I was just
it's
too
hipster.
old.
It's hipster bullshit on the same level as fucking Garden State. Fuck those movies.
I definitely haven't seen Garden State. I don't like Zach Braff, to be honest. But, yeah, Napoleon Dynamite, just everyone would always quote from it and say it was hilarious. And for whatever reason, it still makes it into memes. And, yeah, I don't know. So when I tried to watch it, I couldn't even make it halfway through. I was like, this is retarded. And I haven't laughed once. And I don't even know how to pronounce his name. John Hader, whatever. Nothing I've ever seen him do is funny. Nothing I have ever seen him do.
No.
He's the most funny person, supposedly funny person. He's just so stupid. So, yeah, I feel you. I understand.
Yep. Okay. Kees, would you like to come join our fun in ranting? Please.
In ranting. Okay, now, a movie. I have a couple of movies that I really, really hate and despise for several reasons. And it's usually because of, like, potential. It's usually because there's a franchise going on, or just started, or about to end. And then there's this one turd that sinks it, at least. Now, there was this turd back in 2016 that completely sunk any potential that I think the DCU ever had. For some fucking reason, There are people who completely love this movie. I'm baffled by it. I've seen this movie a couple of times now, like a lot of times, and I'm like every time I'm trying to get into it, and there are actually there are a couple of scenes I do kind of like, but they get kind of ruined by things in the scene, or if you think about it. I'm, of course, talking about fucking Batman v Superman. Come at me with all the fucking comments and the tweets. I don't give a fucking shit. This movie is awful. It's garbage. Seriously, have you seen the fucking CG on Doomsday? Doomsday looks like the fucking troll from Lord of the Rings and Fellowship of the Ring. And that's 15 years older than this fucking movie. And it looks worse. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not even the biggest problem, because that's only in the last act of this movie. No, the biggest fucking problem, Jesse fucking Eisenberg, a guy who got an Oscar nomination for The Social Network in 2010, which is an amazing movie. I love it. It's in my top 50 of all time. I love Jesse Eisenberg in that. What the fuck was he doing in this? Are you kidding me? This movie pisses me off beyond belief, and I'm like, why the fuck do people think this is a good movie? Well, Ben Affleck as Batman is good. He kills. Batman never kills. Batman has this one rule. He's on the edge. He, maybe almost goes there, but he never actually kills. Not willingly. He kills so many fucking people. And, yes, is that warehouse scene cool? It is cool. But he still kills people. And it's fucking stupid. So that ruins your best scene out of the movie. Also, this movie is called Batman v Superman. I clocked it. I literally fucking clocked it on a stopwatch on my phone. The actual Batman v Superman fight, and this is in the 3-hour cut, not the 2.5-hour cut. In the 3-hour cut, it is exactly 8 minutes, which is, I don't know how much percent. It's like 3%. So 3% of your entire Batman v Superman movie is actually Batman v Superman. And at that time, the motivations don't make any sense anymore. Superman and Batman don't have any reason to fight each other. They should team up to stop Lex Luthor, which, by the way, is played by fucking Jesse Eisenberg. Did you know that? That fucking idiot who doesn't know how to fucking perform Lex Luthor. Oh, but he's Alexander Luthor. He's his son. Fuck you. We were promised Lex Luthor. I was looking forward to this movie. I saw the trailers. I was hyped. If you saw my trailer reaction, I put it up back in the day. I was so fucking hyped for this movie. I wanted this movie to be great, just like Captain America Civil War, which 1 month later came out, and it was in every way so much better because it got everything right that this movie got wrong. Okay. I hate this movie.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
There we go.
We made a big breakthrough, people.
Would you like to help me in taking this a little further?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think I'm kind of in between you guys. I think I haven't heard your guys' opinions on this movie in a while, but honestly, my biggest frustration, I'm not as passionate about, I don't think, really anything as Kees is, except for maybe music. But you're not passionate about music?
Oh, thank you for bringing that forward, Robert. Please continue.
Yeah, so Batman v Superman. I like how it starts. I think it's really, really cool. He does Metropolis, the day that the world found out about Superman. I was like, oh, sweet. And then
yes.
Bruce Wayne is doing his thing, and then he's Batman for a little bit, and he's he scares the cops. I'm like, oh, that's so true. That's what Batman is like in the comics.
He kills people.
Well, hold on now. Let me get to that. And then he's at the party with Diana, and that's super awesome. And then, very on the nose, but still acceptable because, again, this is based off of comic books, and comic books are very on the nose. So he's like, oh, you two should, or what does he say? You two should get together, or if you fought, I don't know. He says some shit about
No, I would not pick a fight with this guy.
Thank you. Yeah,
he
exactly.
literally says that.
Yeah. So it's very on the nose, but it works because, okay, Lex Luthor's kind of quirky, and also, I mean, it is based on a comic book. You can only get so serious. This isn't Chris Nolan, for fuck's sake.
Have you seen Gene Hackman or Kevin Spacey?
Well, hold on. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you mean Christopher Plummer?
Yeah, right. Hey, who's going to go back and CGI Chris Plummer over it? Okay. Kaiser Soze, anyone? All right. For real. This is what I wanted to get to, though. Everyone says Batman doesn't kill. Spider-Man.
Batman kills.
Spider-Man doesn't kill. Yeah. Have you ever picked up a thing called a fucking comic book? Have you? Because I know you haven't, so that's okay. I forgive you. But yes, Batman absolutely kills people. And hold on, I have another friend who all he cares about is Batman, and he has read the comics, and he still thinks that Batman shouldn't kill anyone in any movie or comic or anything. So I understand, like, that's like the only comic he reads too. He's so obsessed with Batman. He has Batman everything, but he still doesn't think Batman should kill. I'm on the opposite side of that. I think that there's no like the whole, if you kill a killer, then there's the number of killers remains the same. Well, kill 7 people then. Now it's not the same. Like, ratio, motherfucker. Like, do math. So I think Batman should kill as many people as he wants to, because you want to know why? It's fake. It's not real. It's fake. And if you can't handle a guy dressed as a bat killing people, then, you kind of need to be a fan of something different.
Have you seen The Dark Knight?
Yeah, I have, and I think he should kill people. I think he should kill the Joker. No, I'm just kidding. The Dark Knight's great for what it is, but it's a completely different movie, and it's not Ben Affleck's Batman. I wanted Ben Affleck's Batman to be that Dark Knight Returns comic book. Frank Miller, very dark. Does he kill anybody in that? I honestly cannot remember. Okay.
No?
Didn't think so, but still.
Frank Miller understood that. Now, this is my problem.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you tee off.
Okay. This is my problem with the movie. It tries so horribly to take 2 of the best Superman stories of all time. The Death of Superman and The Dark Knight Returns. Which are both great comics in their own right.
Also a great 2-part animated movie.
Yes. Oh my God. Michael, what's his face as the Joker? Oh, so good in that animated movie. But bottom line, this source material has to be treated with the utmost respect. Zack Snyder chose to not treat it with any respect. That's my main problem with it, because he took Lex Luthor, who is one of the best DC villains of all time. And you know what?
Cold, calculating, intelligent, ruthless.
And you know what? And let's face facts. Based on his performance from The Social Network, Eisenberg could have worked.
Oh, yeah. He's got the chops.
Let's make that perfectly clear. As much as I hate Jesse Eisenberg as an actor, it could have worked. Problem. Snyder can't direct.
Nope.
No, I'm dead serious. Like, let's take a look at his best films. I will name you his 3 best works right now. The Watchmen Director's Cut. It's a visual spectacle. It is so gorgeous looking that it makes up for the lack of acting.
The 3.5-hour cut.
Yes. Legends of the Guardians, which is his animated owl movie. Again, he had a little control over the actual voice acting, so the actors were able to truly express, and he gave us a truly beautiful film. 300.
Yes.
A blood-tacular action fest that, required no acting. No, like, real, emotional, hardcore acting. Outside of the one guy who loses his son.
Or a real story, because the story was already done.
Exactly.
He just needed to adapt it.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, but shouldn't that carry over here? I think it's less the directing and more the choices of what the movie was about. Like,
by the way,
went into it.
By the way, Chris Terrio may have won an Oscar for Argo. He does not know a single thing about writing comic book characters.
Nope.
Yeah, but you also, again, don't know the involvement, like what actually made it to, because of everything that went on behind the scenes.
The He Who Shall Not Be Named of the comic book universe, David Goyer.
Yeah, that's more.
But he has actually done comic book movies.
The man is death in comic book movies.
I think you're onto something, but real quick, I would just say, I don't think it's that Zack Snyder sucks at directing. I think it's that he didn't know exactly what he was doing. He had all these thoughts and ideas, and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go out there and kill it. And then he got however far through, and then
when was a time that a director did the same thing?
A lot.
Oh, wait, it was the prequels.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing is, planning it out right is one thing, and saying like, oh, here's my shot list, and here's what we're gonna mix in from this and this and this, and here's how we're gonna make Lex Luthor really neurotic and nutty, and then like somewhere along the way he started to realize like, wait, this isn't going right, and then it didn't go right, and it's like once you pulled out that last piece from the Jenga tower, everything just crumbled, and so like that's why you see at the beginning when things are simple, you're like, oh, this is cool, like yeah, this is actually not that bad, and then you add like. You pull out another piece, and now it gets a little more, there's more holes in the tower, and it starts to be worse and worse and worse, and then, yes, it totally sucks ass at the end. So I'm with you guys that it's not a good movie, but I think attributing it to like, Zack Snyder's not good at directing. Well, I beg to differ.
Well, and to be fair, it's not
Chris can't write comic book characters. Well, is it that he can't write comic book characters, or there's a huge disconnect between what he wrote and what his director directed and what his actors did? Because I do think Jesse Eisenberg has the chops, but he still has a lot of blame for the character decisions that he made, because he made some dumbass character decisions. I think he didn't understand the character. He understands how to act, but he did not understand the character. Or he was like, I'm going to do the Joker. That's basically what he tried to do.
That's what he tried to do and failed.
But he failed, because he's not Heath Ledger.
And it totally ruined Jolly Ranchers for me. Fuck you, Snyder.
HT. Just kidding, I already hated T.
Nope. Just nope.
Okay. That was fun.
Yeah, that was very therapeutic.
That was
Now, Jonathan Peck in the chat, you brought up a movie that, my God, I want to go off on.
Oh, yeah.
But hold on.
I hate it too.
No. Here's the thing. I'm sorry. My hatred for this movie could be its own episode.
That's fair.
Just no comment, said the title.
So, I'm not going to lie, dude. We're going to do that another time.
Just say the title.
Exactly.
I just want to hear the title.
The Last Airbender.
Oh, okay, yeah. Moving on.
Early in this show, we mentioned one of the greatest animated shows of all time. Remember when they made a movie out of that? Oh.
Which, actually, that reminds me. I totally forgot about this news that, you know what, I haven't asked you guys about.
This was recent.
This was recent. So, you know what? We're going to sidetrack one more time.
Why not?
So, my favorite show of all time is getting one more crack at a live-action adaptation on Netflix as a television show that will be overseen by the original creators, Brian Konietzko and Michael Dante DiMartino. Ryan, thoughts?
I'm the wrong person to ask first, or maybe the best person because I'll be the quickest. I've only seen the first two episodes. That's just because I grew up with different stuff. Watched other cartoons instead, like the Spider-Man, Batman, the animated series, blah, 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 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. So I like what I've seen as far as the cartoon goes, and it interests me. I think I just missed the bus, I'm too old at this point. I'm sure I'll get to it eventually when I have kids. I'm sure I'll get to it eventually. But
honestly, you could probably get into it now, but that's neither here nor there.
I could, yeah, but even going back now and watching Batman the animated series, I do have a hard time because I'm like, ugh, it's still a little like childish or simple, I guess. I don't know. I'm an adult now, so whatever. I'm a grown up. But what does excite me is it's something new. It's a new way for new people to get into it if it's good. And as long as they don't go full sham hammer, you're golden. Case, thoughts?
Case.
Quick thoughts.
My question just is why? We had a great animated show. We had a great... Yes, I know. I don't fucking care. We had a great animated show.
Because you're not getting any of the money! That's why you don't care.
Now, please finish, Case. Please finish.
We had a great animated show from 2005 to 2008, which is legit one of the best animated shows for so many reasons. And I think most importantly that the finale, the entire 4-part finale of Sozin's Comet, is probably the best entire fucking episode of that entire show. that just shows that how well they were able to craft the show up until they get into a very satisfying finale, which was awesome, and I love it. So my question just is like, besides the fucking money, yes, I know they want to make fucking money off this thing because they milk everything nowadays. Why remake this show? There is no reason to remake it in live action on Netflix. There is literally no reason, I think. That's why I'm like, you know what? Sure, you make it. I might watch it. I can also just watch the original animated show and be satisfied with that, you know.
That's fair. Now, I get that. But I see two big reasons as to why. One, because of the movie. Because guess what? This story actually can work in live action, and it should work in live action. And two, as fucking phenomenal as it is, people are already starting to forget it. And that breaks my goddamn heart. So if this live action adaptation can bring it back and bring it back stronger than ever, with an actually racially sensitive cast, with great scripts, with great effects, then guess what? Sign me the fuck up. I want this show. I want it right now. Because, honestly, Avatar came out for me at the most perfect time. It came out 2005 when I was at one of my lowest points in life. After I'd seen Revenge of the Sith and I thought my life was perfect, I've seen all I needed to do, I'm out. We'll get into that more some other time when I can actually have a very much needed conversation with some medical professionals who are really great at this subject. Again, hint for a future episode. This show means so much to me. And if I can get the proper adaptation that we deserve as fans in the live action realm, bring it. I want it. I'm ready for it. Anything to forget that obnoxious, abominable piece. Okay, nope. I said I'm sorry.
Another time.
Anyway, let's turn this conversation around. And let's talk about some of our favorite films outside of Star Wars. Because, again, we're going to have like 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 shows about Star Wars over the course of this show for however long it runs. So let's talk about something that we might not talk about as often. Kees, start us off.
I'm going to quickly do some honorable mentions before I get into what I think is the best movie trilogy of all time. And yes, I know that we said no Star Wars. We'll get into that in a second. Honorable mentions: Avengers Infinity War, Finding Nemo, Blade Runner 2049, Saving Private Ryan, South Park Big Long Run Uncut, The Lion King, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and Inside Out. There we go.
You know you could have talked about those on a future favorite movies episode, right?
We'll get there. Anyway. The best movie trilogy of all time, and my second favorite movie of all time, which finishes the trilogy, is The Lord of the Rings. And I'm very, very sad that I don't have a poster anymore. I used to have a Lord of the Rings Return of the King poster. Don't have it anymore. I have... I grew up with The Lord of the Rings... when did I first see it? I don't exactly remember. It was about 10, 11, 12 years ago that I first was introduced to The Lord of the Rings. And I just completely loved the movies and how they were made. Because in terms of fantasy movies, how they revolutionized fantasy movies back in the day, along with Harry Potter, of course. That's also a discussion for another time. That was amazing. And Return of the King, for me, has the best parts. I know people love Fellowship for certain reasons. I know people love Two Towers for certain reasons, and they should, because both of those are, like, all three movies are in my top 50 of all time. I love all three movies so much. But why Return of the King for me stands out is it has the best moments, the most epic, insane, emotional moments out of all of them. It makes me cry. It makes me... to quote Action Movie Anatomy, it makes me have the biggest fist pumps. Like, fuck yeah! Are you seeing this movie right now? It's the most amazing fucking thing ever. Like, The Return of the King still has my favorite all-time scene in cinema, which is the Rohirrim showing up at the Battle of Minas Tirith. There are 10,000 horsemen against 600,000 orcs, and it's so fucking amazing. Just everything about that scene, the speech from Theoden, the cinematography, the set design, just how it all looks, the score, just everything about that scene. I love it so much, and that is just one scene in an amazing 4-hour movie. And yes, of course, I include the extended editions because the extended editions are better. They are. If you haven't seen the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings, or you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, do yourself a favor. Watch the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings, like tomorrow or now, or just whenever you can, like now.
As soon as this show is
yeah. Wait till the show's over.
When the show's over, get yourself the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings and binge 12 hours of that because it's so fucking amazing. Like, you will shit yourself. Or
you'll be like me and you'll cry for 30 minutes straight.
That's also true, and we did that. That happened, and I was there for that. But like, yeah, the Lord of the Rings, and then Return of the King. It's a 4-hour movie that flies by for me. Like, it feels like 90 minutes for some reason. While still, all of the 4 hours are needed. Every single scene in there. Yes, all of the extended stuff as well, because I think that all of it just enhances the movie, and the fact that the theatrical version already won 11 Oscars and equaled the record is insane. And then you have the extended version to even enjoy even more. Yeah. I love The Lord of the Rings so much, and Return of the King is my favorite out of those movies. So that's what I have to say about that.
On the horizon, why do the white
Stop singing and talk about your favorite movie, Chris.
Ryan, take over while I cry to myself for a second.
Lord of the Rings. Ugh.
Actually, no. Let's just talk about it for a second, because I know you love these movies too, Ryan. Like,
yeah, if anything could be so perfect, like, it's just unbelievable how perfect the Lord of the Rings movies are because of what preceded them, which is the Lord of the Rings books. Like, most movie, or I'm sorry, I was about to say it backwards. Most book to movie adaptations aren't the greatest, or they don't hold up as well, right? So,
Princess Bride.
The Princess Bride for sure. Yeah, The Princess Bride is an amazing book. Like, good movie or an amazing movie. Even if you say it's the best movie ever, it's still not as good as the book. I'm sorry, because the book just does things that, and that's just how it always goes. Except for, I can't believe I'm about to say this, The Lord of the Rings, because basically everything that's in the books is in the movie. It's ridiculous. If you watch the extended edition, you get the mouth of Sauron, which is a weird part, but still, it's, it is what it is. And you get your Tom Bombadil, and you get everything in the movie. Now,
Tom Bombadil is not in the movie, though.
He's like literally the one thing that's not in the movie.
Is that the one that?
Yeah, he's not. He's not in the movie.
It's been a couple years since I've seen it, and I'm obviously now getting mixed up. But I was just reading the book, so maybe that's why I'm all mixed up.
Dude, yes.
Yeah. I got them on Kindle. That way I can carry all three with me at one time, so that I can just read through and I don't have to worry about.
Instead of what I have here at home, which is like a about 10 times bigger than the Bible of all three combined into one.
Yeah, my brother has that too, and yeah, because he's obsessed. Like, he knows literally everything there is to know. He's read the Silmarillion multiple times.
My man!
He's obsessed, and he knows literally everything there is to know about Lord of the Rings. But personally, there you go. Personally, I like The Hobbit better as a book, only because
as a book, not as movies.
Yeah, no, the movies are the.
That's a different discussion.
Yeah, I don't even watch those, to be honest. I haven't seen them since the first time I saw each of them. I think actually I saw Smaug a couple times because that one is acceptable to me. It's not the greatest, but it's acceptable. It's not the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is what we're here to talk about, which is amazing and perfect. And honestly, it is the greatest trilogy. I will give you that, because even looking at Star Wars real quick, the imperfections that are there, blah, 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 whoever you are, you dislike different things about it. The way Lord of the Rings is put together, cinematically, storytelling, acting, what the story of good and evil is, it's just so perfect. And it does encapsulate so perfectly its source material that it's unparalleled. It is a generational thing. Like, this is, if they had stopped The Godfather at The Godfather 2, like, that's the quality that this is. It's like that much of a generational thing, and it's just, I don't know that it'll ever happen again. I honestly don't think it ever will happen again. Like, that's how, I really wish he never even tried to touch The Hobbit, because if he did, like, The Hobbit is like a scar. It's a mark on the perfect record. Like, he was perfect. He was 3-0, and now he's 3-3. So it's just sad.
Yeah.
4-2, I'd say.
3-3.
Yeah.
We'll agree or disagree.
Yeah. You could make an argument for 4-2, but I'd say 3-3.
You can make an argument for 4-2, but I can't get past the GoPro shit. But
yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So
this is best.
And to be fair, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is, to this day as well, my favorite film trilogy of all time. Like, literally, every single one of those movies is perfect. The acting, perfect. The score, perfect. The effects, perfect. The story, perfect. The script, perfect. The directing, perfect. I don't know if I can name a genuinely bad thing about these movies. Like, sure, I have nitpicks with each one.
Mouth of Sauron.
Denethor.
Yeah.
Everything about it.
No.
Well, that's hard. But anyway.
Again. And you know what? And that's, again, we'll save that for an episode where we can, like, really dive into that. But these movies mean so much to my childhood. They mean so much to my imagination. They mean so much to my wanting to be an actor, to wanting to actually get back into shape, and my wanting to learn how to sword fight, to learn how to write a good script, and yada, yada, yada. Like, holy fucking shit, these movies are fantastic. Okay. Again, we will get into this trilogy some other time on the show. Ryan. Take us through a movie that Kees is going to laugh at you the whole time for.
And it's funny, like, I was thinking about it because for whatever reason, and honestly, like, I don't care enough to pinpoint the reason, but where once it was popular to love this movie, now it's starting to become popular to hate it, which is fine because I feel like the movie was made for me. And it actually is my favorite movie above The Empire Strikes Back because it so perfectly fits to my tastes and what I like. Whereas, like, Star Wars was a movie made for everyone, and so many people across the world are obsessed with it. That's why there's Star Wars Celebration and all that. Inception, I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan made it for himself and for me because there is no thing in this movie that I do not like, and I've seen it almost as much as I've seen it more than I've seen any other movie besides The Empire Strikes Back and the other Star Wars movies. I've seen it. I don't even know how many times I've seen it because I watch it multiple times a year because to me it is so good. And you can say, oh, well, it's convoluted and you don't like this part and you don't like that part. And that's fine because honestly, it doesn't affect my enjoyment of it at all because I honestly think like this movie is just for me. Like, I just don't get it. I just love every single thing about it. I like the sci-fi. I mean, sci-fi is my favorite genre. Like, yeah, Blade Runner, Star Wars, iRobot, the book, stuff like that. So I just, I like the idea of going within dreams and dreams and dreams. And also Leo DiCaprio is my favorite actor. And also I think Marion Cotillard is so good, and Kees hates all of this. And well, I mean, she's an Academy Award. They're both Academy Award winning actors now, actually.
Finally.
Well, yeah, finally, for sure. I would have been happy if, I honestly think Nolan should have won Best Director for Inception.
He wasn't even nominated for it.
No, I know, but I didn't say he was. I'm just saying I think he should have won for it because that's how much I like this movie. Now, obviously, is that biased? Yes, and I know that, and I accept that. And I'll fanboy over Inception more than I'll ever fanboy over Star Wars because I feel like that's, that's my thing, and I just really like the feel of it and the story it tells, and it gets me really emotional. Actually, I don't cry during movies, really ever, but that is one movie that will get me choked up and teared up at the end because I actually care about the story and like what happens. It even though I've seen it so many times, like it still gets me. If anything, it actually makes me more emotional when he's finally, no matter what your opinion is, when you see him get reunited with his kids, that's a very emotional scene because it's a father who has done all this imaginary sci-fi shit in order to be back with his kids, and like that's a very strong. That hits home for me, like as someone who has a really strong relationship with his father. That matters a lot to me. That he would fight so hard, and just like the music. Oh, even if you don't like the movie, like try to tell me that Hans Zimmer didn't do an amazing score. Like, yes, that's so good. Like if you listen to Mombasa, it's good. Time is good. Dream Within a Dream is good. Dreams Collapsing is good. The slow parts are good. The loud parts are good. All of the parts are good. Like it's a short score too. Like when you listen to the album, it's really not that long. It's not like it's an hour and a half like some scores nowadays seem to be, where they just put every track on there. It's the best of the best put into, and it's just, directing is note perfect. The acting is so good, and as convoluted as the story is, I like how it works together. And I think it's a masterclass in writing. I think that he did it. It took him like 14 years to write it, and I think it was 14 years well spent because it's fucking awesome. So yeah, come at me, bro. I really don't care. Like you could say it's the worst movie you've ever seen, and I'll just smile and be like, all right, that's fine because it's the best movie that I've ever seen. Go for it, Kees. I want to hear.
No, this is not the worst movie I've ever seen. I just don't like it. I have seen it 3 times, or attempted to see it 3 times. I don't give a shit about Ellen Page. I don't give a shit about Ellen Page, and I hate Marion Cotillard as well. Why? Because Nolan can't direct actresses. He can't direct females for some reason. It is a recurring theme in multiple movies that he makes. Because, like, as much as I love The Dark Knight, Maggie Gyllenhaal isn't good. As much as
Maggie Gyllenhaal just isn't good. But yeah.
As much as I love Batman Begins, Katie Holmes isn't good.
It's also just not.
As much as I love The Prestige, ScarJo isn't good, and ScarJo can be great. I know that. It's just that Christopher Nolan can't direct actresses, and he has had that issue in a lot of movies. And Inception, yeah, I mean Ellen Page is. Okay.
What about Insomnia?
I haven't seen that.
All right, well.
But Ellen Page is either your protagonist or at least one of the protagonists, and she sucks. And I hate her, and I don't want to watch her. And I don't want to watch fucking Marion Cotillard. And also the it's annoying to me. And I don't give a shit about Leo DiCaprio. I think he's probably the most overrated actor ever because everyone fucking praises him. Like the only good performance that he ever deserved an Oscar nomination for, and not even the win, was Blood Diamond. And other than that, he didn't even deserve the nomination for fucking The Revenant because in everything in that movie screams, "I want an Oscar! I want an Oscar!" Okay, you fucking get it. Great, yay for you.
You don't like Wolf of Wall Street?
No, I don't. I'm weird like that. I have my opinion.
Because he's a hater who doesn't like Scorsese. So
I don't like
Oh,
Scorsese.
yeah, that's right.
Come at
fuck.
me in the
Get outta here.
comments.
If you
Do
want to
that,
know
please.
my honorable mentions, Goodfellas, for one, like basically the greatest mob movie ever made. I like it.
Or just a fine movie, but who cares?
You're-
Who cares anyway?
As you would say, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it, and it sucks.
This is true. No, but I don't like Inception. If you do, more power to you. I just don't. That's it. Let's just leave it at that.
you know, and I'm a little bit in the middle where I like the film overall. I like the score, but it doesn't stick with me the way that I want it to. Because I want to be in love with this movie. I want to be like, oh my god, this movie's amazing. I just can't get that into it. And partially because, god damn it, Nolan, can you learn how to direct actresses, please? Is that too much to ask?
Have you seen Insomnia?
Swank's not that good in it, though. I'm sorry. She's like,
I don't see it. I think she's great.
Like she and trust me, I think she's fine. But the role should have been like, oh my god, this is the best actress performance ever. With the writing
she
there,
was in $1 Million Baby.
what?
like,
Which
the
and,
same year,
and Clint knows how to work with actresses. Nolan
it's a
doesn't.
different movie. I don't know. Agree to disagree. I think that's pretty. It raises some implications that maybe you think Nolan is somehow sexist or whatever. I don't know.
And to be fair,
I don't know. Those
to be fair,
implications.
I'm not that jackass
Then
who
what does it
I'm not the jackass
matter?
who runs around saying that kind of shit. Because look, I got better things to do with my time. But
Yeah.
I am, however, saying that I think he just isn't able to enter the female mindset the way that a lot of other male directors are able to. And it's not his fault, because, trust me, Hollywood's been screwing women over since day fucking one. Let's be clear about that. But
Yeah, but I don't know. I also hesitate to classify him as Hollywood because.
well, you're right, because he's an
British.
auteur.
He's British.
But he's
Like
an
if you were
auteur.
talking about an American, yeah. I mean, he does blockbusters though, so
I don't classify
That's why
him
I
as
have to classify him as
As-
Hollywood.
as a-
because-
Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk. I mean,
he's a blockbuster director nowadays.
yes, he is.
But I honestly think if you go back to the following, really, I mean, had one female character, and that was a student film, and it's not that great. But if you go to Memento, I think for Carrie Ann
Moss is good.
she was good. I mean, she's Carrie Ann Moss. It's not like she's, And then I think Insomnia, I actually think, it's not the performance that won her an Oscar, right? She won that, right? Pretty sure.
No.
$1 Million Baby? She didn't win $1 Million
Yes.
Baby?
Yes, she won
That's
the
what I'm
Million
saying.
Baby.
Right, which was, unless I'm very, very
Which
wrong.
was her best performance she's ever given. Let's make that
Right,
perfectly
yeah.
clear.
So, but I think Insomnia, it may not be that quality, but they're also two different films. They're about very different things. So
You're
you
right,
gotta
and-
admit certain things get certain actresses certain
Yes,
awards.
yes.
Let's be
Now,
honest.
and-
When it's emotional as opposed to a mystery, come on.
Well, no, and and to be fair, I get that, but it's just I personally feel that the writing of Hilary Swank's character in Insomnia does not match the performance that she is given, and to be fair, I
That's a
actually
shame.
think it's more on Nolan than it
Maybe.
is on her. And to be fair, maybe I'm wrong.
And
But-
then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, all that I'm trying to say is Inception is still a very good movie.
Right.
It's a visually spectacular film. Oh my god. It is one of the best looking films I will ever see in my entire life.
hmm
But I am with Kees on the score. I'm sorry. Hans Zimmer is very hit or miss with me, and that's my taste. That is completely on me. It's strictly my taste.
Yeah.
Because, take for example his score for The Lion King.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't care for it.
Oh, shut up.
So, look again. It's.
I mean, that's the one that he won an Oscar for. Come on.
It is.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
All right, you're done talking for the night. All right, you're done. No, hold on. Let me just say one last thing, and then I promise I'll let you get to your thing. My only last thing is, love it or hate it, I think that Jessica Chastain in Interstellar is really, really good. Hold on. I said love it or hate it. You don't get a counterpoint to this because this is the final part. Love her to hate it. I think she's really good, and it makes me emotional. And I was actually just talking about how I don't often cry in movies, but her performance in that actually makes me kind of emotional. I think, again, maybe it's the father thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sucker for that sort of part in a movie. But I just think that the whole space and time, and Jessica Chastain is just also a pretty good actress, I think, unless it's like Molly's Game or something. So, I don't know. Go ahead. What's your movie?
I just became a bobblehead.
Yeah, you did. So, okay. So I'll give my film, and then I think we'll officially start to wind down. And I wish I had my piano hooked up to YouTube right now, because I have 2 notes I'd play for you guys tonight, my friends. They are a half step apart. They are E and F, and it simply goes bum ba-dum ba-da-dum bum 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 bum. Jaws is one of the greatest films ever made. And I'm saying this over The Godfather, which I have ranked over Jaws personally. Over School of Rock, which I have ranked over Jaws personally. Over Die Hard, which I have ranked over Jaws personally. But the reason I have to talk about Jaws is because it was the first movie that truly made me get into filmmaking. Because, my God, you want the single most interesting story about how a film got made, it's Jaws. And I do want to actually point out, Jonathan Peck, thank you so much for listening to the entire show. Back to the Future, I don't hate it.
Yes, I love it so much. The first one, yes.
I don't hate
the first one. Just the first one.
The first one is a lot of fun. You know, and collectively, we all like it. Well, okay. They like it. I don't.
No. The first one is a great movie, and you're wrong, Chris.
And to be fair, I'm not saying anything about the quality of the film, because it's a great film, but I
certain people like certain things.
I can't get over the reverse Oedipus complex going on in the movie. It's way too weird for me. But that's
these were a weird time, man. 80s were a weird time.
You mean the 50s were a weird time? But
no. 80s was when it was made.
No, yeah, but the 50s.
Yeah, but it takes place in the 50s.
Yeah, but it was made in the 80s, and they made weird stuff in the 80s.
But the 50s is when it took place.
I don't care when it takes place. I care when it was made. It was made in the 80s. They were all on cocaine, and so they were like, hey, you know, it'd be really cool. And then they made it. Anyway.
It still take place in the 50s.
Doesn't matter. You could make it take place in any time, and it would still be weird.
Now, anyway, back to a film that is fairly universally loved. Or back to another film that is fairly universally loved. The reason I love Jaws so much, and in particular the first one, the shark never worked. The shark did not work until, like, the last 20 minutes of the film. Otherwise, you are getting a great script written by Carl Gottlieb and Steven Spielberg. You are getting great performances from Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, Lorraine Gary, Murray Hamilton as the mayor. Oh my God. And you are getting the Hans Zimmer of the 70s, John Williams, with one of his best scores he's ever written. Like, yeah, sure, everybody knows dun 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 dun. But if you listen to any track that's not the Jaws theme, holy shit, you're in a completely different movie. But it works, and it works so great because Spielberg specifically told him that he wanted pirate music for when our trio of hapless bastards were on the high seas looking for this shark. Because you want to talk about a movie that's fun? Jaws. You get scared, but you have laughs. There's emotional tension, but there's sincerity and there's heart to it. You have some characters that are absolute dicks, but you understand their point of view. It's so grounded in reality, like that's, I think, is part of the reason why it was the first blockbuster, as we know it, where people literally lined up around the block to see this movie that was being released wide all over the country for the first time ever. And I want to get into one last thing. Like, sure, Inception did a lot to revolutionize CGI. The Lord of the Rings trilogy did a lot to revolutionize practical effects and
fantasy films
and production design. Jaws was the first to beat everybody to that punch. And sure, have other films done it better? Of course they have. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to the best out there and do it better. But for my money's worth, when I look back on what made me so in love with film, that's not Star Wars. I look to the film about a 25-foot great white shark that has scared me since I was 5 years old. And I still fucking love it to this day. I still will defend those god-awful sequels. And I will watch those god-awful sequels,
there's other
and I
movies?
will
there's
enjoy
other Jaws
them.
movies?
There's more than one Jaws movie.
You know what? Fuck it. Dennis Quaid's in one of them. That's how much I love it. But that being said, and plus, one of the best lines in movie history. Smile, you son of a bitch! So great.
That's not even the famous one.
True, but it's my favorite.
No, I think it's a better line, but I'm just saying, like, that just shows you how good that movie is.
Exactly.
It's the best line, and it's not even the famous one.
Exactly, and it's that rare time when the film adaptation of a best-selling book is infinitely better than the book. Infinitely better, because anybody who's actually read the novel of Jaws, we've got some problems. And granted, the novel itself is a different entity, so it's not bad. It's just different. The characters are a little less likable, but the story is more engaging. So you have that weird kind of trade-off. But bottom line, I fucking love that movie, and holy shit, we actually went almost 2 hours tonight. Yeah. I don't know how we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we're about to hit an hour 50, and I think that's actually a great time to bring it down. And just say, everyone, thank you for watching. For those who tune in live, I thank you so much for keeping the chat going. And for those of you who are discovering the show for the first time, please comment, like, subscribe to Dedicated to Art. Not only are we going to keep doing our Schmodown reactions, which I'm going to be uploading one shortly after we're done, but we have other great content coming on this channel, including something that maybe might involve a galaxy far, far away. We'll just have to see. But until we get there, I want to thank my panel, two of my closest friends in this whole YouTube space. Ryan, where can the good folks find you online?
Twitter and Instagram. Actually, just stick to Twitter because that's really all I'm ever on. At Clan McLellan. That's Clan McLellan. And please, in the comments on this video, let us know what was good, what was bad, what can be better. Sorry that I yelled a lot. If I hurt your feelings, I still love you.
Don't ever be sorry that you yelled. Kees.
Good, because I'm never going to stop.
Where can the good folks find you online?
You can find me sleeping in my bed right there in a minute. I'm so tired. It's fucking 4 a.m. here. Oh my god, how did I
Round
manage
of applause for Kees.
how did I manage to stay awake up until now? Anyway, you can find me at Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter and Kees Cornelisse on Facebook. And please yell at me. I don't care if you yell. I yell like you too. I yelled in this show, so please yell at me back because yelling is fun, especially if it's about piece of shit movies like Batman v Superman. Yell at me.
Can we get a T-shirt? Yelling is fun.
Absolutely. And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Skywalker Dohmen. You guys can follow this very channel dedicated to art on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at D2H Channel. And you guys can follow my band that I'm in, Silver Nightfall, at Silver Nightfall on Twitter and Instagram. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And for Ryan McLellan and Kees Cornelisse, I'm Chris Skywalker Dohmen. We'll see you next week. Take care!